Hi, everybody. We are live. This is Crypto Happy Hour.
I'm happy.
She's happy. I'm Bill. We're here to chit chat about all things crypto. Toby, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. So big rally tonight as we're talking.
Yay.
Inflation number coming out in 2 days. Ooh.
I know, that's exciting.
What is going to happen?
I don't believe it, but.
You don't believe the number?
Don't you sometimes think they just kind of pull things out of their butt? Yeah.
Yeah, they just make it whatever they want to make it, right?
I like that. I do the same thing.
Right.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah.
That's why I'm happy.
That's right.
I live in my own universe.
Right, but the thing is,
I think sometimes people might take me seriously.
I think people do.
I mean,
people like you
when I'm serious.
Royco likes you.
But I mean, when I'm joking, maybe they can't tell. I don't know. I mean, last show, and we can talk about it in a minute, what we said, but like last show, didn't somebody comment that I was a witch? I don't even know what that means.
Somebody did.
What does it mean to be a witch?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Maybe we should ask him.
No, I have no idea. I think you have a really unique perspective on crypto, right?
I do.
And I mean, there's
a political way of saying
there's absolutely nobody out there who's got the perspective on crypto that you do.
That's true.
And there definitely is no male-female dynamic out there like us.
That's probably true.
I mean, BitBoy tried it with Wendy O, and
I saw one of the shows. It was not fun or interesting. I hope we're fun and interesting.
Right, we are.
Do people think we're fun and interesting?
I
or
think
they just think I'm a witch.
Well,
and you should be scared.
if you're still with us, or if you're joining us, we definitely appreciate you having us in your world tonight, particularly with the big X space going on.
Yeah, that's exciting. I was looking forward to going head to head. I put my swoop on. Did you see?
Yeah, I see that. I see that. Actually, it's a great strategy for us because the whole world might be on the internet and they might be coming on over to see us.
Well, because that's going to be so boring. You know,
definitely.
They should be drinking.
They should.
I think every political interview and/or / debate should have some alcohol.
Should be a party.
It could. I mean, with the other guy, the old guy who is no longer. I mean, he was kind of already
done.
Well, he seemed a little tipsy, maybe on stage, maybe.
Right. Well,
so that could be fun. Like there was that show, Drunk History. I don't know if you ever watched it. I did once. It was pretty funny. I mean, I didn't like history.
Well, our version is Crypto Happy Hour. So
I know I'm not drunk
on this.
I just always act like this.
On that topic. Okay. Yes. So the market's up today. They're all euphoric, most likely over what they think is going to be said on this Twitter space.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember what we said last Monday, but we talked a little bit about another wobble coming, and I think there's another little one coming.
Okay.
And this was when we first, you and I don't know.
Because the last one we did was before Black Monday.
Yeah.
The Sunday night before everything went crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
But I said, don't worry.
That's right.
Yeah. I think I have something in my eye.
Okay. And so continuing.
If I blink a lot.
Continuing on the crypto front. So let's talk about this this next wobble. Right.
Yeah. Around the numbers.
Around the inflation number.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, and I mean, it's silly.
I mean, we call it a wobble, but I know crypto people are going to get upset.
Probably, but if they're watching your show and me, then they shouldn't. I think that's the biggest thing that I like to offer people is a bigger perspective on markets and what's going on.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Or maybe they just like me because I'm crazy. I don't know. Or a witch.
The crypto witch. I mean, that's...
What did you call me before? Oh, the the Solana psychic.
Yeah, the psychic of Solana, right? I mean, that should get it. That should get everyone's attention.
That's a good pick.
We have RC Rex here. Good morning from the UK.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm day drinking now.
Right. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Welcome to our friends in the UK. Careful what you guys say on Facebook out there.
What?
Feel free to come on in and get whatever information you need from us here at Unhinged Crypto.
Yeah.
So about this wobble, right?
Around the numbers coming.
Yeah. So it's the inflation numbers the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
And
I wonder what they'll say.
The question that I always have about wobbles is, when the market goes down, it feels like, it feels very scary, and it almost feels like it's engineered that way because someone is standing down there, maybe, right, looking to take everyone's Bitcoin, everyone's.
You talk about that a lot in your podcast, and I don't think you're wrong. I mean, I don't think it's like a conspiracy, but it kind of is. Do you know what I mean? I mean,
right. It's not necessarily.
There are people. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No.
I mean, I think there are people who hold enough assets that they can tip the market one way or the other in their favor. And this is not a new thing. This has been going on.
That's not wrong either.
Since the beginning of markets. Yeah.
Right.
So that it's just part of the game. It is not a fair game. If it was, then we wouldn't have anything to do.
Right. We wouldn't have anything to talk about. Right? This is your theory about volatility, right?
Volatility is where profits come. I mean, without volatility, there's no.
And Michael Saylor says where there's energy, there's volatility. So Bitcoin has a lot of energy, positive, because you're an energy expert, right?
I am.
You have a lot of Bitcoin has a lot of energy, positive energy. Therefore, the volatility is seen as a blessing. Of course, today we have a rally, which is fantastic.
Yay. Although,
right, but we're gonna if public figures, a lot of times when public figures talk about crypto, particularly when crypto gets euphoric,
it's gonna make it go up or down.
It's gonna make it.
So what we could see going on today is reflective of people going, "Oh, in this interview, it's going to be good for crypto," and I think they're probably right. I mean, I think that's what they're going to talk with. Whether they do or not is another story, it doesn't matter. But perception is everything,
right? Well,
in
crypto bros never miss an opportunity to dream about someone pumping their bags. You know what I'm saying? It's like
that sounded like an interesting innuendo.
Right. Well, no, that's true.
Let's not talk about pumping bags.
Okay, all right. Let's not do that. All right. No, that's a legit crypto term.
I know.
Okay, all right.
I'm just saying.
So moving on from the monster awkward there, the Fed.
You know how I love them.
I mean,
if we could have invented an arm of the government that would mess up the economy, if that was a purpose, I think they did really good. However, from my understanding, that's not their purpose. So they're not doing
their job.
They should be rewarded or punished according to that. And we don't get to do that, but we should be able to.
Well, their job is to fight inflation and defend the currency, right? And that's not.
And they did not do that.
No. They created inflation and printed the currency.
Yes.
And the question is, are they finally going to capitulate and lower rates? In other words, if this inflation.
We talked about that last time and the time before, and I've been talking about that.
Right. And I looked it up before the show.
Did you?
There's a prediction market that has a 95% chance of a cut in September.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, it's
we talked about that on the last show too. So,
right.
Yeah, it's going to happen before the election for sure. Okay. I mean, like I said in the last show, I'm shocked it hasn't happened before, but I don't understand why they're holding on to it. It's like this isn't working, but.
Well, they would either have to admit by cutting rates, they have to admit several things.
Yeah.
One, they over tightened. Right.
Which they did. And
then two, that there's something wrong out there that they're worried about. Right. In other words, they kept saying, we're worried about inflation, worry about an old news and an old problem.
Well, that is,
you know, and then
that
he
is
would
a
have to come
common
out and
thing.
say, hey, I'm worried about the stock market. I'm worried about employment. I'm worried about this, you know.
Are they saying they're not worried about the stock market? I think they are.
Well,
I mean, I think they wanted it to happen.
well,
Maybe that was
I mean,
part
that
of it.
situation was so bizarre. I mean, you put it in
It's-
context. I mean, it was like, you know, the Bank of Japan was successful in defending the yen, but it created some consternation in world markets. And then they came out and said, sorry, we're just kidding. Okay. Now the big question is, you know, is the Fed going to get over itself? And if they don't, I mean, that's the big question, right? Like, what would happen?
Is the Fed going to get over itself?
And lower rates.
Well,
right?
yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
but if
like I
they,
said,
but if
I'm
they, but if they
shocked.
didn't, like, I mean, this is
They're
just a
not.
hypothetical. There's
They
no way.
can't.
There's no way.
They can't. They can't. You
Now,
know?
I mean, you know, because one thing I
I
was
mean,
wondering.
they can because they're, you know, not doing their job. But
Now, wouldn't it be funny? Wouldn't it be funny
I don't know how
if at that September meeting,
Mhm.
like, if they did cut rates, okay, wouldn't it be wild if all of a sudden there was a catalyst that made it beyond obvious, like a problem, or because there's a lunar eclipse in September, right?
Yeah, you know, I know you follow. The interesting thing is, you know, I'm really not as big in astrology as I used to be, but I do follow, but more on a personal level. I think at the market level, it's a lot harder to predict. But what do you think would be the negative outcome of them lowering rates? I think the stock market will go up. So if you were good and you sold at the height, you know, I've been saying it was overinflated for a long time. Might be a good time to get back in. I think meme coins, with all this wobbling going on right now, I think meme coins are, you know, I'm not a big fan, as you know, but I do think that we're gonna have a lot of action going on in meme coins for a little while until we get the big, which is like end of September, October, when we start seeing the market start to rally in crypto. I think probably at the same time we'll see, you know, a rally in the
Stocks can recover.
Yeah, especially, you know, the tech stocks that were hard hit. Going into the holiday season, there's going to be a bit of euphoria. I wonder, what do you predict is going to happen with the inflation number?
Well, it feels like it feels like there's no way they're going to let the inflation number be bad in an election year, like right as you've got this new candidate, right? I mean,
that's what I said.
She would just get absolutely,
even without that, even, you know, when the old candidate was running, we can't use real names here.
Right.
Sorry, people. I'm sure you can figure it out. But that's what I said. Going into an election, they're not going to have the numbers look bad. So, yeah, they'll just, you know, they have a way of massaging. And you know, I've known that about statistics for a long time, you know.
All right. So this is really interesting, this idea of like total euphoria. So it sounds like it's worry, worry, worry. There's a saying that the market climbs the wall of worry, right? So it sounds like the more things there are to worry about, as long as it doesn't break or take out the lows, it feels to me, like listening to you, that like, I know this is a little bit too bold, but like the next dip, the next decent dip is like the last dip, you know,
for a while. I mean, you can never say last.
No, I know. I meant meaning like,
yeah, because it's
of this like short-term wobble worry period.
Yeah,
right?
I think,
like, you know,
I think there's, you know, there's a lot of insecurity. When people are insecure, they do irrational things, you know, and so we will. But in the fall, there'll be a general sense of euphoria leading up to the election. We'll probably see it not long before that. A lot of it's, you know, maybe artificially pumped into the system. What's this thing?
Right. No, it's this way for printing money. Right.
Yeah.
They've already started putting high-powered money in the system.
Yeah.
Right.
They want to
after
pump the numbers up for the election. I mean, and really, whether they're pro, the current kind of administration thing or not, what you don't want to happen right before an election is to have people feeling bad about things, because that can make things a little bit crazy. I'm sure you can come out with some historical data on that. That would be really interesting.
Well, I mean, the stuff that we had a special report out in Patreon was that like normally after the debates in October is when like markets can go down in election years.
Not up.
No. But
it
looks like
markets or stock markets?
Stock markets.
Oh, okay.
But in this case, the real debate was early. It was in June.
Yeah, but we still got another one. So
right, we got another one in September.
When is the next one?
It's right around that lunar eclipse in mid-September.
Mid-September. Okay.
Right. So I mean, I don't know if that's going to be 2 people or 3 people. Right.
More the merrier.
The more the merrier. It's they got to have the crypto bro vote, and that's why crypto's up tonight, right? And if there's a scary dip, I don't know what's going to scare the crypto bros other than maybe a geopolitical situation, because I know you hate talking about that.
No, it's not that I hate it. I just, my theory is, and you're a traditional, you're TradFi market analyst from way, way back, right? I mean, what are you, 100 now? I'm just kidding. You have a lot of experience, right? But my whole theory has been for over a year now is the beginning of the decoupling. So, I mean, my hope is that, and we're so, centric on what's going on in American politics, and that should just be a small piece of it, because, I mean, all markets cover the world, right? But the crypto markets should be less influenced by that.
So when you're talking about the decoupling, this is like what hits me.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about, like a final dip and then some sort of euphoria.
I think the euphoria is going to come right around the election.
Right.
Yeah. So we have a little bit of time. We're still the Weeble Wobble kind of stage. So we'll see a little bit of that. Then I think some stability. That's why I said last week on the show, when Bitcoin and the layer ones start to get a little more stable, people get bored and they go into Memecoins. So I think we're going to go through a Memecoin phase. And I'm waiting later this week. I'm going to look at the buckets and the trends again, and see what I think will move first. Right now, I'm saying Memecoins. Memecoins will move first.
Right, because if there's going to be a decoupling, right, that's going to from listening to you,
yeah,
it sounds like one market will move up slowly. That could be stocks, right, and crypto could just move up rapidly. Right.
When you say crypto, for me, there's so many sectors that I don't see it as a unified whole. I see the layer ones as so I see the layer ones as, and they all move a little independently of each other, but I see them with, more.
So are we talking about alt season? Because crypto bros, you know what alt season is.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Are we talking about alt season?
I think that'll probably hit first. I mean, I'm going to say Memecoins first. I mean, it's just what I think.
Right. But then you mentioned layer ones. I'm like, oh my God, is she? Because I mean, like.
Oh, I think we should all be looking at the altcoins right now.
Altcoins, really, altcoins now.
Yeah.
Because I mean, altcoins got destroyed last night, and I looked at it and I was like,
you know what I say?
I know
that's when I look. That's when I look.
The 6th Street crypto angle was. It's like, how do you like your steak medium well? It's like, how do I like my crypto? I like it, down and crappy. When it looks terrible, right? That's when you got to buy it, particularly after a crash. I call it the I don't know, let's forget about what I call it, but after a crash, right?
Yeah.
Everyone is waiting for that, falling sharp implement again. It's called the sharp implement experience. Every time they see red, they're like, oh my God, it's going to happen again. Right. And then the last 2 times we saw the market go down,
It popped right
I
back
mean,
up.
it literally just like stops on a dime and goes, oh, that bad news was interesting. Whoop.
Yeah, that's the Weeble wobbling thing, which is what I talked
Right.
about earlier. At the beginning of the summer, I was talking about the whole Weeble wobbling thing. That's what we're going to have this summer.
Right, but I mean, it had the crypto version, because the thing that was funny about Black Monday, because that's what people in crypto are calling it, like the Black Monday in 1987, stayed with the market for 10 years.
Yeah, but
the fear.
But stocks are different, and here's why, in my opinion, why it's different is because it has a different psychology, and it has a different psychology because it has a different type of people who are into it.
Okay.
Right. So the stock market, the stock market grew and built on the energy of the what are they called?
The baby boomers.
The baby boomers, that's it.
Right.
I want to call them Gen. Yeah. So, and why did the baby boomers get into the stock market? Because they were told, if you put a bunch of money in there, then it'll be safe. And when you get old and retire. So they were looking for things that were safe. So when they got burnt, they were just like, my dad went through that, he was like, oh God, I lost half my money. And I'm like, just wait, it'll come back. It's just a matter of how much, but that's how they thought. And they were scared. And, that just made matters worse. I think because, crypto is a different market that appeals to different generations, not baby boomers. Probably it's a good thing,
Right.
And I think people, I think now we're starting to get, as they say, normies into it. But I think in the beginning, people wanted that Wild West part of it. They were, I was like, it was a little scary in the early years. I didn't get right in at the very beginning of it, but that's what I was looking for,
Right. The rebellion against the man thing. Right.
Yeah. When I was a teenager, that was very much my thing. But now it's not rebel against the man. It's just ignore them. It's just like, whatever, boomer, it's so ridiculous.
Bitcoin, a new high is Bitcoin. Is the market going whatever, boomer? Right.
I think
to the Fed, to anything that's been in the way of Bitcoin, because, every time I listen to you, it feels like, 5 months from now, people are going to ask themselves, why were we afraid? Why were we bearish?
Why didn't we listen to Toby and Bill?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why did we do that? Right. And there's, if there is one more flush, because that's like the title of the stream, it's like
one more flash.
Yeah. One more crash.
Yeah. It's like you use different terms than I. There's going to be a wobble. Yeah. And some smaller ones. But again, it's like what I said last week or whenever we did it. And I'm like, it's like a weeble, So they go, whoa, 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 whoa. And the dips get smaller. And this is the weeble summer.
Right. So effectively, like the last down move could have been the final Bitcoin crash. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the end.
Well, I think when the numbers come out, there's going to be some nervousness. And so, for me, this is all psychology, right?
Right. It's a game.
Understanding the psychology of the people who are in the market, right? And so then you can kind of predict behaviors based on that,
Right. Let's talk about cleaning out your closet. So
have you seen my closet? I know. I don't want to talk about it. Wait, I felt like you were looking in there.
No.
Okay,
I'm talking about the
a little messy.
the altcoin closet, right? In other words,
My altcoin closet is good, but you know why? I have a short attention span.
right.
I don't want to have to worry about too much stuff at one time.
Okay.
You know what I
So
mean?
if someone's
I'm a
sitting on
hodler, so that makes it
somebody's sitting
easier.
on like 20 or 30 coins, right? Sometimes I tell people it's, hey, you got to maybe take a pick at what's going to work and not work. Right? You can't sit there with 30 coins expecting everything to move or moon or can you?
Well, and
right?
you can, but I feel like psychologically that is just too much. So and earlier this year or late last year, we talked one time about putting out, because we were doing like lists of 3, and it was like the game Mary Kay.
Oh no, yeah, you love trying to bring this up on the screen. You're determined to get us a joke.
I did not say the bad words.
What do you?
But I think
it's like what do you want to marry?
Yeah,
okay?
We know what.
What's your short term fling? What's your tactical play?
Yeah.
And what are you just done with? Just done.
Right. If people thought about and so this is why. So you
should have played that. Yeah.
But I
clean out the closet or leave these 30 positions.
I think it's like dating, right? So you meet somebody and you're like, ick. Or they're like, okay, it has some possibility. Or, oh yeah, do you know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's what you do. So you've got this messy closet. So you're going to Marie Kondo that, right? Does it bring you joy? If it doesn't, let it go. Let it go. Because what I got, and I just had a conversation with a friend of mine the other day, or yesterday, and she was telling me about this investment fund that she got into that was way down. She's been in it for 3 years and she's been losing money over and over. And she goes, I just don't know what to do. And I'm like, well, if it was a boyfriend and it treated you that badly, what would you do? Kick him to the curb? Right? So get out. Does it bring you joy? Do you feel better at the end of the day that you're, involved with this coin? If you don't, then let it go. It could be perfectly fine for somebody else, but it's not for you. I can be very brutal. I fall in and out of love with coins all the time. I'll love it for the moment. It's great. Like Memecoins. But Memecoins is like being on Tinder. It's only for the night. Right. And you have to watch it too much. It just seems like a lot of work for me. But the rest of them, you just take a.
Well, there's a lot of big ones, right? There are the Popcats and the Pepes of the world.
I'm for some reason not a huge Pepe fan, but I love Popcat.
Right, I know.
For a long time, yeah.
Right.
And it's still doing really good.
Right, you were an original Popcat person. So.
And I don't like meme coins, but I think I also like Doge, like way back before I even knew you. But I don't know. There's something going on with Popcat. Like I feel like it's getting some utility, and that always makes me feel better.
Okay, well, pay attention out there, people. Popcat. Let's see who's out there in the chat.
Yeah,
Aiken is here, right?
Anybody have any questions?
Let's see. Somebody says, which is a superstitious concoction? Disregard that person. That's Royko.
Thanks for the support.
All right. Quiet Dawn is here. Welcome, sir. And Aiken, always a big fan of the show. So we just had a significant financial event, but we are also factoring major geopolitical event in this final crash. Well, sir, I believe, and just asking the genius here, I think we're saying that whatever we experienced that was negative, like the Black Monday, that is the final crash.
Well, I mean, it's terminology. I never understand exactly. I mean, I like the Wobble thing. We're going to see a little bit, but But yeah, I think because when that final crash happened, we did a show
And
not
said,
long after,
yeah,
and
said,
I was
don't
like,
worry,
shopping. Yeah, everybody, if you're not buying, then.
So, I mean, we're still in shopping mode, even if we get.
Well, I'm not. I'm in research mode now.
Okay.
Shopping, that was shopping mode. I mean, there's still things to shop. There's always things to shop because there's always new projects coming out or older projects that are, seeing their energy revitalization. And there's always something to do. There's always things to look at, And so me personally, I'm waiting for this numbers to come out and a little bit of panic. And then, I mean, I'm still big on meme coins. Everybody should look into meme coins, but I'm waiting to see the trends that come out of that because that'll be an exciting one. And then we'll wait, and after the debate, I'll do another deep dive because that's how I like to do it. When there's volatility, that's when the superstars come up. Right? When the rising stars come up is when there's volatility. So you clean out your closet, get rid of the things that don't bring you joy, as Marie Kondo says.
Right.
And then maybe you free yourself up, not just financially, but emotionally. I mean, if I had 100 coins, which I would never do, in my portfolio, I would just be freaking confused. I would.
Right.
What do you look at? And that's why I like to organize by buckets. You have a few things in each of these sectors, and then it's easy to watch. And you go, okay, here's my DeFi sector. Oh, these are doing great. This one, we'll let that go. Let someone else enjoy it, right? And so, to me, it just makes more sense rather than looking at having a tiny bit in 600 coins. You've got some buckets that you like,
right,
in your portfolio, and then you look at the 3 to 5 coins you have in each bucket and you let them go. And then if you let one go, is there something more promising out there in this bucket, or am I okay with this?
Right. So, I mean, for the roadmap in crypto, I mean, from listening to you, it sounds like, if you get this like short-term euphoric rally, that's when you let someone else take your, you're like, here you go.
So you
please take this. And then on anything that makes people panic in the future, whether that's, I don't know, inflation, the Fed, the geopolitics.
That's when you shop for new markets.
That's when you just, jump in there. And the implication is, there's one more of those out there somewhere, right?
Oh,
especially
around.
I
mean, rising stars. And I look at things in sectors or buckets, right? Rather than just trying to randomly figure it out, which is, why I like the bubble charts, because I can organize it. And I'm just a visual person, so bubbles are easier for me to interpret. But yeah, rather than charts and numbers, I just look at, okay, everything else is going, to the toilet. What's doing well? Those are your potential rising stars. What markets?
So on any down move, any down move, you're looking for,
but especially the big ones, because that's when you really. It's like
that's when you're looking for the
tide went out, right? And so that's when you find the seashells on the beach, right?
Right.
If everything's up, how can you tell? Right. So when the tide goes out, I get excited because I'm like, let's see what's trending. Let's see
what's outperforming.
Yeah. And let's see that's a better word, right? But let's see, what exciting things are coming. That's when you discover the treasures, is when the tide goes out. When the tide is in, that's when you look at your overall, not everything at once, but your buckets, right? So you've got 3 to 5 coins in each sector that you really like. So when the market goes up, you go, okay, who's underperforming? Who's showing up with a C when everybody else is an A or a B? Maybe it's time we let go, right? And then when the market goes down, you go, oh, let's find those hidden treasures. That's just how I do it. And that way, I never get upset if the market's up or down, because each one has a purpose.
Interesting.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Hopefully Aiken's got that down. Somebody is popping in. Caroline popping in from New Zealand, right?
What time is it in New Zealand? It's way
like lunchtime. Okay. Going to see down Elliott waves as Weebles wobble from now on. Right. So she's going to be doing it. Daniel says on any down move, cha-ching. Quiet Dawn is asking about Floki. Have you ever seen Floki?
I have. And you know what? I mean,
should I look it up or do you get it?
No, you can't. I know because I see the picture in my head.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a visual person.
Okay.
Do you want me to pull a card on Floki?
I don't know. I
Let's
think maybe
do
we
it.
should just get radical. What do you think, Donna?
Floki, because I have mixed emotions, but not everybody should base their picks on how I feel about certain things. But I've been watching it. It's been doing some wobbling. I've been watching it since somewhere around the beginning of the year, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think it's been one of my picks, just because I felt like there was still a lot of, I don't know. You know how I am.
Right. Well,
sometimes I don't know why. I don't know why. We're just not, it's
well, that's why you're the Solana
you're a
psychic.
great guy.
That's why.
It's not you.
It's not you. Right. It's not you. It's me. And when they say it's not you, it's me, it's always you, just so you know. Okay.
Okay. So let's see. Yeah. So that's not.
Is that too many choices?
That's a lot of. So it's too many choices. It's like, it feels like it doesn't quite have its mind made up of where it's going. I mean, for me to make a final decision on whether I do this or not, I would take a look at the bubbles. And like I said, last show, I'm going to look at how's it been doing for the last 3 months? How has it weathered all this volatility? But just personally, I'm not ready for that. It's,
okay.
It's not somebody.
All right. Well, Quiet Dawn's giving us the thumbs up on that. So it looks like they appreciate the honesty. Now, I know this is your favorite topic, right?
Yeah.
Solana. Okay.
I am so excited about Solana.
Okay. So
what everybody saw in the last year, I think in the next 2 years, it's going to be even better. Yeah. I mean, we have not seen, I fell in love. Let's just say we're engaged. I don't know.
Right.
In the MKF, we'll just call it MKF, right?
Right.
Okay. So it's not M, but there's serious. There's
seriously.
Yeah.
You're involved with Solana. Okay.
Yeah, we have.
So, people are going to want to know, right? Like, there's a couple crowds, right? There's like Solana at $250, right? There's Solana at $400 because way back in the day in 2016, once ETH cleared 175, that's been the level that's kind of capping Solana, at least lately. Once ETH cleared 175, it went to 400. Now, I know ETH was a lot smaller back then, but that 400 number pops out for me. And then, of course, there's the hyperbole number of ETH 1000, right? I'm sorry, of Solana 1000, excuse me, right? Solana 1000, right? Every time Solana goes down, you know how the media is. Solana goes down, they talk about it going to 90. Right.
So right now, because we're heading into a Memecoin craze,
right?
Yeah, I expect to see Solana go up a little bit.
Okay.
So, but I mean, over 2 years. The thing is that it's so tied to the Memecoin casino thing,
right?
That's where we see it picking up steam. But I think they're developing so many other projects on it. That's why I said wait 2 years. So
I mean, if you're grabbing Solana at 150, it's almost like,
what is it today? I haven't looked.
Solana was at like 157.
Okay, so it's 150.
Yeah. Right. And then, a lot of people.
Oh, that's a bargain.
A lot of people think, sub 200 Solana is a gift. So Solana's at 146.
Oh,
frankly, which seems stupid cheap to me.
I mean,
even 2,700 Ethereum was up today. Even 2,700 Ethereum feels like kind of a joke. Now let's talk about the relationship between one and the other, right? Because Solana's become Solana's become the beauty queen, right? Solana's Miss America, and ETH has become the ugly duckling. Now, is ETH going to follow Solana, or is ETH just done? Because there
It's
are a
not
lot of
done.
crypto. It's not done.
It's not done. No,
Okay.
no.
Because I'm like a crypto boomer, and I'm like, you can't have a cycle without ETH, right?
I think, yeah, it's
that's what
fine. I'm just, I don't get as excited about ETH as I do Solana.
right.
But again, it's not you, it's me.
Right.
I mean, everybody has. Absolutely. I've been in ETH for a long time. I just don't get as excited. I'm waiting for them to come out with the new thing on it. So I'm watching it.
So
I haven't got rid of it.
We're still waiting for the killer app in ETH. That was the knock on ETH in 2016.
Yeah.
Ironically, is that there was
Yeah.
no killer application.
Yeah.
Right. So you're saying something new is going to come to ETH.
Well, why I got excited about Solana last year, it's been over a year ago, it's a long time ago in crypto world. But why I got excited was the potential, all the stuff that's coming on chain there, right? So I'm just not seeing it with ETH. Bitcoin, and I'm not saying get out of it. I haven't. I'm still in ETH from the beginning. I'm still putting money into ETH, but I'm just not as excited about it. So we're not breaking up, but we've decided to see other people.
Right. Right. And that Memecoin season, that sounds like, because there's there's
Solana's going to bump. Yeah.
So Solana and the Solana memes, right? Because there's like,
yeah.
There's there's Popcat, there's there's Bonk, there's the big memes.
Bonk has been doing really good all this year. So yeah.
Right. So it's the Solana memes, because I don't think I don't think anybody, everyone's talking inflation. Everyone's talking about all this dark stuff.
Why? Life's too short. Have fun.
Well, that's why we have Crypto Happy Hour. That's why we have all these nice people joining us.
I'm happy.
Right. Daniel's here, right? You're happy. And you're talking about meme coins, and you don't like meme coins. See, every time I hear you say that, I'm like,
no,
oh my God, no. I'm saying, do you like meme coins, even though you're not necessarily, you're not a meme coin investor. You're not even necessarily encouraging people to do that. But if your spider sense is like, hey, you got to look at meme coins. If meme coins are going up, what's going to happen to the rest of the altcoin universe under that scenario, right? That's mind-boggling to me.
Yeah. The reason I don't like meme coins, it's not because I think there's anything wrong with them. They're like, the hot 21-year-old. They get a lot of attraction, but you got to babysit them all the time. I'd rather have something that's a little more mature and stable. He's cute, but he's 21, so maybe he won't show up on Saturday night because he's out partying with his buddy. It just takes a lot of time to watch.
Right.
No,
so
it's something you have a fling with. And that's fine for a little excitement and thrill in your life, but I'm not going to keep it in my portfolio forever. I'll do a thing, like there was one we were talking about like last week, right? And I'm like, that looks like fun for the night, and you throw some money in, watch it go up, and jump right back out. It's a fling. It's a one-night stand, right?
Right.
It's not even a fling. It's a one-night stand. But that's why I don't like it, because it requires too much attention. That it just seems like a lot of work. You got to watch it not just every day, but multiple times over the day, so you can pick that exit point. And that's
hard.
More work. It's more work than I want to do. I don't want to be a day trader. I don't want to have to watch those things all the time. Right.
Yeah,
but they're fun if you want to jump in. I know you did some stuff earlier this year that was fun and then frustrating. You made some profits on things, you didn't on the others. And that's the whole problem with the meme coins, is that you always have to be watching for the best exit, right? It's like, you're cute, but when do I leave in the morning? Is it before you wake up, after coffee? It really is. It's like a one-night stand. How do I get out of this? That's just a lot of work.
Right. Well, there's there are a lot of new products coming out in the stock market world for crypto. Like,
what are you excited about?
Well, I call it the box of chocolates under the bed. It's called Zcash, right?
We've been talking about Zcash for a long time.
Right, but Zcash was at 15 2 months ago. It hit 40 something today because Grayscale is putting it into an ETF like product, right?
Oh, that's good.
Right, and then Grayscale is doing, Grayscale is going to start picking up these big altcoins. And start putting them in these stock market products. So I think
it's great. I mean, we've been talking about Zcash since the beginning of the year, right?
I was a Zcash nerd 2 years ago.
Yeah. You're the one. Yeah, we were. Oh God, maybe it was before that. Long time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then that a lot of people talk about like crypto equities. So there's for example, there's Michael Saylor's company, MicroStrategy. It used to trade at $1,400 a share, and now they've done a 10-for-1 stock split to allow retail a chance to get in.
That just makes me. I'm not a big stock market person.
Right,
I don't get excited about it.
Right, but do you have any excitement about like crypto connected equities?
I think
right,
people
like Coinbase, Bitcoin miners, because you got a lot of people playing in that kind of stuff.
Coinbase is good. I think they've shown their mettle, but I just don't.
Don't like the crypto equities.
Well, I just don't like the stock market stuff. I think it's less interesting, and it doesn't align with my goal and purpose and vision in the world. Why I got into crypto is because it fits me. Why I'm not in the market is because I don't like all that BS. I think right. Okay. So I know that was your world for a long time, but
I escaped. I got out. I went through, I went through some fairly substantial pain to disconnect from TradFi and, take the red pill and leave the matrix.
See, that's been me for a long time. So,
right. Out of
so
there.
I don't even like talking about it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Don't talk
wake
about
me up
equities.
when we're done talking about the stock market. Oh, okay. So I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because this is something somebody asked me about, and I have a tiny opinion, not a strong opinion. XRP.
Okay.
And specifically, somebody asked me about this rumor, which sounded a little bit conspiracy theorist to me. And so I'm just, but I want to ask you, so XRP replacing fiat in some countries of the world. It was a lot more conspiracy theory and elaborate than that.
Right.
I fell asleep for half of it because, conspiracy theories just make me want to go to sleep.
Right.
But I just wonder, have you heard anything about XRP and fiat in particular countries? Or is this just like a crazy rumor? I hadn't heard anything about it.
I think, there's always been talk that XRP and something else called QNT can be used as a payment network. Possibly even Ripple has the capability to develop central bank digital currencies for other countries. So maybe you heard some sort of like chopped up version of that. Because
it's very extreme. I understand the whole Ripple thing.
XRP is the way I see it is fast money. XRP is, first it was this like poster boy for the push back against the man when they were in court forever. Okay, now they're out of court as of last week officially. Right,
that's good.
Now I think someone's got to start looking at XRP as fast money.
So that's why I brought it up.
Fast money,
because I have had a rocky relationship with XRP.
Right.
Over a year ago when we very first started all of this stuff. I'm like, I want to love it, but
I kind of don't.
It's just not showing up for me, but I kind of feel like something's coming up with that. So I'm going to look at it again. Probably when I'll look at it is when I do my overview at the next Wobble. And I'm going to look at XRP because I feel like something interesting is going to happen with XRP in the next year. So I'm just going to look at it.
Because
I just wondered if you've done any charts or anything on it lately, because I know you have a lot of followers that are big into XRP, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the analysis that I have, it feels like, I don't know, it feels like a sleeping giant to me.
That's what I'm
Right?
talking
In other
about.
words,
I
like,
love your analogy.
it's like everyone was into XRP, then people rage sold XRP to buy Solana kind of at the high. Everyone, Solana became the dream that all the XRP people were hoping for their own bags, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then everyone just kind of gave up. Like the influencers had to stop talking about it. And you know what happens?
That makes me love it more.
I know. You know what happens when everyone gives up, right?
I know.
Like Bitcoin.
I always say that. Like whatever everybody else is doing, do the opposite.
Like Bitcoin below 20K for 6 months. You could have bought Bitcoin below the 2017 high for 6 months. And you know what? You're going to look back, I think, on XRP and go, wow, I could have got this at 50 cents.
Okay. I'm glad you said that because I was feeling like something's going to happen with it just because it's gone a little dead in the water, but it's not belly up and people aren't as excited about it. So I'm like, ooh, I'm going to look. So I'm going to look after they release the numbers and I'm going to look at the bubble charts and next week I'll tell you what I think.
All right. Well, XRP people, oh my God, your number one fan. I think Kim is here. Kim is like, right. HODL XRP for retirement.
That's probably a good strategy.
Right. Kim is saying the astrology for the 19th has me pulling off exchanges into wallets. So, I know you're not a big fan, but there is a lot of yip yap from the Astro guys.
It's not that I'm not a big fan. It's the way I understand how energy works. It's subtle, more subtle.
Yeah. Right. But I mean, you're in line with what they're saying, right?
Oh,
you're saying like one last.
That I don't believe in it. Yeah.
Your word is wobble, right? I think crypto words are like dump or nuke, right? So one last dump that gives you a little bit of panicky edge. Mm-hmm. But what you're saying, you've been saying it all night. That's shopping and research, not panic, right?
I never panic.
Well, you never panic, but that's why this show is great, right?
Well, that's why we do this, right?
Because like the audience turns to me when when they're panicking. Some people turn to me, and then I'm sure we can all see who I turn to when I'm panicking, right? Because
take a deep breath, inhale, drink your kombucha.
Right. Like Toby is the only crypto person that doesn't panic, right? No. You and Michael Saylor, I think. Michael Saylor's like, it's down, how nice, right?
I know.
It's the same
We're
philosophy.
buds. Oh, we went to college together.
Right. I took a picture with him at Bitcoin Miami in 2021. And it was a great crypto moment.
Well, and the interesting thing is if you look at people who are very successful in, the investment world, whether it's crypto or markets, they're the people who don't panic. They're the people who look at down markets as a time to reassess and buy. And, and that's hard to do. That's really, really hard to do. I know people, like I was saying, my friend who I was talking to yesterday, and she can't let go of this investment because she puts so much into it and she doesn't even care if it's down. And I'm like, it's like a bad boyfriend. What has he done for you lately?
Look, somebody said to me,
yeah,
I have altcoins and I can't get rid of them because they're down. Right.
Yeah.
They say they won't let them go.
It's
right.
A bad boyfriend.
And they're probably they're going to miss the next big thing. Like we had a report in the Patreon store.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm saying, we're always trying to find like what's next. Right.
I don't mind. I mean, if somebody, first of all, how many coins you have? You can't have 100 boyfriends. That's just too many to keep an eye on. So you want to keep it really, really simple. right? But it's okay if in one of your sectors or buckets or whatever you want to call it, I call them buckets, in one of your buckets, you have one that's slightly underperforming, but you think it's going to come back, but it better fit in that bucket for the rest of the portfolio. And you don't have 10 of them. You have 3 to 5 in each sector, right? And then you look at them and you're like, what have you done for me lately? When did you take me out for dinner? You know, when did you,
Right.
I like the
And you gotta
dating
find-
analogy, the MKF.
Right. And you know, the one I like is from
or MFK.
is from equities, where, you know, now they have the Magnificent Seven, right?
Mm.
But the thing that people forget is that 10, 15 years ago, when everyone was thinking about Greece not being able to pay their bills, that
seems
was
like so long ago.
I know it's 2010, right? The first iPhone when it came out, right?
Yeah.
And you know, that was the time to go looking for the next Magnificent Seven, because now it's obvious, right? Like
Yeah.
Microsoft, Apple, Netflix, Google, you know, Meta, Nvidia, right?
Yeah.
They're all obvious now, but they
weren't then.
They weren't,
especially
they
Nvidia.
they weren't 15 years ago, right?
And that's why, you know, my
10 years ago.
strategy, you know, my strategy is when, you know, when things crash, that's when the, you know, the tide goes out, you find the seashells.
Right. But those seashells over time, right? Because a lot of people are asking me about the cycle.
You collect them and you hold on to them. Yeah.
Right. But, you know, one thing that people talk about when they say hold on, you know, whereas everybody is looking for this next cycle, and you can tell me what you think, right? A lot of people are looking for this like 12-month pump. Like everyone's like, I can hold my 30 coins because I want it to be like last cycle where everything goes up massively. And then I get out right before they pull out the rug. Now, what I've been telling people is that this may be a more sustained, steady rise led by, you know, your Bitcoins, or who knows, maybe, you know, you're obviously your Solana and maybe your XRP, right? Mm-hmm. But part of what people do when they get married to this 30 coin portfolio, when they go full polygamy, right, is that, you know, they think everything's just going to fly up and then fly back down again. You know, and I don't know what you think of that. I've been telling people no, but you can, you know, you can tell me what you think.
No, I totally agree with that too. And it's part of the decoupling too. I think that's, you know, people have, you know, they're addicted to the idea that they all go up at the same time and they all go down at the same time. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, but it does matter. That's why dividing it up into sectors is a much easier way to look at it.
So you're really, it's going to be like stocks in a sense where you're going to have to pick them, right? In other words, decouple not only, I mean, this is just me.
From each other.
Right. This is like decoupling from equities, decoupling from crypto history.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, stop me if I'm wrong. Right? Decoupling from equities, decoupling from crypto history, right? Bitcoin becomes its own beast. Altcoins become the new tech stocks. And then, you know, the winners pop up to the surface. So in many ways, you know, honestly, you got to be long. You can't be long everything. Not only that, but you have to be long the right thing, because that's the game in equities, and that could be the new game in crypto.
Well, and that's, yeah. So yes, exactly. The thing is that we can't look at it the way that we always have looked at it, right? We, you know, and I know maybe I sound stupid to keep talking about the bucket things, but it's how my brain works, right? I like these sectors. And so, and we've talked about them a lot.
So the sectors could be, you know, layer one.
No, so for me, layer one is just done. Like, don't even worry about it.
Okay.
You know, because we want to look at things that we're paying attention to, right? So, DeFi, gaming, which is still, there's nothing I'm in love with there. There's things I'm flirting with. That's it.
AI,
yeah, obviously. Right. I mean, I was just, 2 weeks ago, we were talking about some AI. There was some
right. Well, you like the new super token, and then there's something called Morpheus coming out.
Right? Oh, well, I've been talking about Morpheus for a long time.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not out yet, but it's going to be a big deal, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, there's all like the DPIN, or, you know, I call it the cloud computing or the hardware sharing. You know, Render is the top stop in there.
You know, and I love my Render. I've been talking about that for a long time. Yeah, so that's it.
You know, that's a.
And
I mean, that's
and they go. You know, that's why I reassess when the tide goes out, right? So I'll take my bucket, and I got maybe 2 or 3 in each of the
because
categories.
everybody thinks that AI trade is dead, right?
It went dead, but it's going to come back.
And then Kim is talking about Theta. I don't know if you've heard of Theta. Theta is like decentralized crypto YouTube, right? And then they're also, according to Kim, they're also in this, you know, decentralized physical infrastructure where there's so much computing power needed for AI that literally.
Oh, that is something I'm really excited about.
Right.
You know, all of any of the projects that are, what do they call it? What did you just say?
DePIN.
Yeah.
Decentralized physical infrastructure.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of one that I was looking at months ago that did really good, but again, you just have to watch them. So you have all of these categories, what you like, you pick a couple.
You know, because if you want the Magnificent Seven, there's only like 5 buckets, right? There's also real world assets, right?
Which I don't think, like gaming, those 2 are lower on my priority list right now. I'm looking, but you know, I'm not.
So what is high on the priority list, right? It's like, are we doing Future of Money? Are we doing Solana? You know, there's memes. You know,
I'm waiting. I can't give you anything today.
Okay.
I will next Monday because I'm waiting for this tide.
You're waiting
to
for
go
this
out.
CPI freak out. Okay.
Yeah. And then I'm going to
get after it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, obviously, folks, you want to stay. You want to take a visit to our Patreon, patreon.com/unhinged crypto. Okay. Yeah. You want to check us out there.
And you know why? Because we just started a new thing that for people, the premium thing where you and I do like a morning coffee, which is great because I always look really tired in the morning. So I'm not camera ready.
Right. We actually put that out on the Unhinged YouTube channel, but that's coming to Patreon soon.
Yeah.
The kind of we're calling
testing
it. Yeah. It's like our version of the morning meeting.
And yeah, we pick a couple altcoins, which is great because I think that's what people need right now. So clean out your closet and then come and watch the show, and we can talk about stuff that we like, and you can decide if that's something that you want to do. Right.
All right. That sounds good to me.
Yeah. So everybody come. We haven't decided how many days a week we're doing yet.
We have not, but
yeah, a few days.
Now is the time. Now is the time for shopping and research. So
yeah,
clean out the closet on rallies. Right.
Yes.
Right. Buy the panic with both hands, not investment advice. Find the outperformers. Right.
Well, we're not giving them advice. We're just saying what I do.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. We're saying what we do. But what you don't want to do is be afraid. Right. That's like, if there was a mirror here, I'd be talking to the mirror. Right. Because I'm affected. Whatever affects the crypto bros affects me. I just, I do everything I can because of the passion for the market update. Mm-hmm. Just my 2 cents, that I have to read the sonar for all the captains of all their ships out there. Right. So, no panicking if they freak out on anything. This includes the geopolitics, the inflation numbers. Expect it, respect it, but don't let it knock you off your game.
Yeah, well,
you can also have a kombucha and laugh about it. But there was that old saying from Chicago:
or kava.
Don't drink and trade. Right, but.
Well, kava is better because that keeps you relaxed. But yeah, you have to look at behavior in the market like you do a 3-year-old. It's emotional. It goes all over the place. But you can't be a good parent if every time the kid has a tantrum, you freak out and start throwing candy at it. I mean, it doesn't work. Somebody has to be the grown-up in the room. And if you've decided to get into this, then be a grown-up and don't lose your crap every time things get a little volatile. We're making an adult decision, and it's going to have ups and downs. If it didn't, it wouldn't be profitable, because what's profitable is what's volatile. So
All right.
if you want profits, you got to accept volatility.
Okay.
Name of the game.
The Solana Psychic has spoken. Toby, thanks for coming on the show. We appreciate having you. We will see you next time. We will see you next time.